Hello. This is my little pep talk today of when life feels overwhelming. Do you ever get caught in that phase? Like, this has been me lately. So, we just moved. For those of you following my story, if you've been listening to the podcast, you've probably heard all my deepest, darkest thoughts around it and everything. But we just moved to a new state. We moved to a new state to grow our businesses, to build our networks, to just expand ourselves and our lives and create something so much bigger. And throughout this process, it has been scary as hell. It's really interesting because when the idea comes, I felt really excited. I knew it was the right choice. I was excited. It felt so aligned. And then when the day came, we were like peeing our pants. Like, I remember looking around at the house and I remember getting ready to move. We still hadn't found a rental. I kind of saw the ways that I tortured myself a little bit mentally, like thinking, oh, I have to pick like the perfect rental house and all of this. And I went through all of that in my head and stressed about it way more than I probably needed to. But I now see like why I did it based on my past. And something else that has bubbled up for me is the overwhelm. So we moved, we sold nearly all of our stuff. We actually did throw in all of our mattresses just so we had something to sleep on when we got here. But we had an 8.5 by 20 foot trailer, and our entire lives fit in that 8.5 by 20 foot trailer. And then a couple suitcases in the cars. And the girls brought like the kitchen stuff, so like the air fryer, just stuff that we use all the time. And we had room for it. And so I was like, well, why would I sell this at a yard sale when I can just move it? Anyways, that's beside the point. So I digress. But we moved, and there is just the way that my brain works based on the trauma in my history. So when trauma happens, most of us have trauma. So let me describe trauma for you for a second. You have big T trauma, sexual abuse, emotional, physical abuse, big T, right? Big traumas. And then you have little t trauma, which is like somebody called you stupid on a playground and you've like held on to that for a long time. Maybe even like your mom made a snarky comment at you or a friend made a snarky comment at you, and you've carried that with you. We carry it with us energetically. Like, our bodies always remember. And for me, I've had big T trauma and little t trauma in my past. And so my home growing up as a kid was very chaotic. There was physical abuse, there was emotional abuse, and I learned that I wanted to thrive in a calm, clean, like collected space. And then some people go the opposite way, where they also thrive in the same. So if you look around at what you were raised with, how you were raised, the kind of home that you were raised in, a lot of times we find safety in that familiarity. And so we will recreate very similar patterns as adults that probably don't serve us. And I went the exact opposite and created the exact opposite of what I was raised with. And so I do not dwell in chaos. Like, I do not dwell well in chaos at all. And so when we were moving out of our house, I like a very clean, simple, not a lot of clutter, nothing on counters space. That's just me. I don't like dishes in the sink. My kids always like joke that I'm a little OCD, but I like put together, I like calm, I like simple. And so a few weeks before the move, we lived in chaos. We had boxes everywhere. I sold the couches a little prematurely. And so we had nothing to sit on. And so the kids would bring their mattresses down. And then when we moved, my brain was over the chaos. But here are a few things that I've noticed. I was using, because our goal was to move down here and to grow our businesses and to expand, right? And what I was noticing was the fear, the doubt, my brain was allowing me wanting the chaos gone. It was using that as a distraction. So I was like, well, I need to get the kids' beds ordered. I need to get their rooms put together. Well, I need my office put together. Well, I need this done. I need all these back boxes unpacked. Then I'll be able to come into my office and work. And what I really started to notice was that that was just my brain's way of distracting me from the real thing. That was my brain's way of keeping me from doing the work. And so I want you to just like look at your life and notice, where are you feeling out of control? Where is your brain trying to tell you this has to be done before you can do this? And was yesterday, at the time of this recording yesterday, I was really feeling the overwhelm. And I've talked about this on a couple episodes this month already, but I was really feeling the overwhelm, and I had to really look back and be like, what can I control? What can I control in this situation? And what would make me feel better? And so I want you to really think about, if you're feeling overwhelmed in life, what can you control when the overwhelm starts to creep in? Because when we allow the overwhelm to creep in constantly, we get in a habit of it. All it is a habit of not managing our own emotions and our own shit, our own ish, basically. It's just us not managing it well. And what I had to realize is that my brain wanted everything done all at once. And I was not allowing myself to just take a breath and tell me it will all get done. It will all get done. It's okay. Because I think a part of me was like, well, we got this big chunk of money from our house. And so it's like, it was like going to this space of, well, we're not really like bringing in a full-time income right now. And so do I really want to like try to plan out this to buy this or whatever? And it just like wanted to buy it all now and be done with it. And so it's just really funny how our brains start to react when, one, we're feeling overwhelmed, two, we're completely uncomfortable, three, oh my goodness, I keep yawning. Three, did you know yawning is like a sign of like energy shifting? Just a little side note there. Anyways, but my brain, I was on three and I don't remember three because I yawned and then I got sidetracked. But our brains really want us to think that like things need to happen a certain way and that things aren't going to happen. Like my brain was kind of going into this mode of, you're not bringing in a full-time income, so you might as well get it right now. And that's fine. That's fine. Like we had planned out a certain allotted amount for the furniture and stuff, but it doesn't have to be that way. It doesn't have to be overwhelming. It gets to be simple. And so what I've done is I've purchased the furniture, got the beds put together, got comforters for all my kids. The master bedroom can wait. I've got a storage space for behind me. If you're watching on video, you're going to see a very blank office. Because I want a cute space to work in. So what would be more conducive? And what was the one room that I neglected the most? The office. This is the one room that I wanted to be like cute and fun and I'd be able to work in it and just really enjoy it. And this is like the one space that I have neglected. And that was my brain's way of keeping me from doing the thing that I wanted to do. The thing that I came here to do was to grow my business, to build my network, to do all of the things. And it was also the thing that my brain was trying to push onto the back burner. And so catch yourself in the shit when you are noticing you came to do something, you came to do one thing, but your brain is trying to get you to do another. Really pay attention to that. Really notice why. And I knew why. Because I didn't want to get to work. I was scared. I was nervous. I wasn't sure. I felt like I picked the wrong house. I wasn't sure that I felt good about like what we just did. It just, all of the stuff came up. I'm skirting an edge. This is a steep edge for me. I think my husband went over the edge for him, for his comfort zone, for his nervous system. But I am skirting the edge so close. And I have to control what I can control. We are here. We are moved in. We have paid our rent for the year. And now it's time to get to work. And so here is me forcing myself. What can I control? I can control how I show up. And I moved here to show up differently. Not that moving here would require me to show up differently or that I had to. I'm not doing anything new that I couldn't do at home, other than it's more convenient to go to the networking events that we wanted to get in. We wanted to get to more in-person events, and this put us closer to Scottsdale. We're like 45 minutes away from a lot of the events that I want to go to now. And so for me, this feels more convenient to make it to all of the events without having to book hotels and flights or drive 7 hours or whatever. And so, what can you control in your current circumstances that's going to feel really good, and create that? Create that for yourself. Create that sense of control that's going to allow you to come back to you. And I will talk to you next time.